Need an RC transmitter that won't lose signal or overwhelm beginners? I analyzed 5 beginner RC transmitters that actually deliver reliable range and user-friendly controls for new pilots. What I found about protocols, latency, and compatibility will prevent you from outgrowing your first transmitter in months. Here we go. Starting off at number 5, this one nails beginner friendliness without killing your upgrade path. We have the Flysky FSI6X 10-channel transmitter and with receiver. If you've ever worried about buying a radio you'll outgrow in a few months, this basically tackles that. Out of the box, it runs 6 channels with the included receiver, which is plenty for most basic planes, cars, or boats. But if you later grab a 10-channel compatible receiver, you can unlock all 10 channels in the radio, so you don't have to replace your whole transmitter when your models get more complex. What really helps here is the bidirectional communication. The FSI6X isn't just shouting at your model, it can also listen. It supports telemetry for things like temperature, altitude, and other sensor data, and it works with the Flysky iBus system, so you can expand with sensors and do servo calibration through the radio, instead of guessing on the bench. On the signal side, it runs on the standard 2.4 GHz band, but the interesting thing is how it uses it. The system is split into over 100 channels, and the transmitter hops between 16 of them each time, which helps cut down on interference from other pilots at the field. Add the omnidirectional high-gain antenna, and you get a solid, reliable link without having to point the radio like a laser. Another nice touch is the low power consumption. The components are tuned to SIP power, not chug it, so your batteries last longer, and you're not swapping or charging packs every session. Where this really shines is as a first real radio. For someone who knows they'll stick with the hobby, just remember that the interface is more old-school text and menus, not a fancy touchscreen, so you'll spend a little time learning your way around. For a practical, expandable starter radio with telemetry and a clear upgrade path, it's a strong option. Check the link in the description. Next up at number 4, this one is built for the surface crowd that cares about range and control feel. We have the Radiolink RC6GS V3 7-channel radio system. Picture this, you're running a fast basher or a long trail rig. It disappears way down the path, and you're still fully in control. That's the whole idea here. It uses FHSS hopping tech with a pseudo-random algorithm, so the link can reach out to around 600 meters in good line of sight. On top of that, it's designed so a big group can drive together, with dozens of these radios in the same area without fighting each other for signal. Now, this next part is what separates it for cars and trucks. The included R7FG receiver has a built-in gyro. You can tweak the gyro gain with the dial on the radio, and it actively helps keep the vehicle tracking straight. So for loose gravel, high-power speed runs, or a drift car that wants to spin, you're not constantly correcting tiny twitches. You also get real-time telemetry. With a compatible telemetry receiver, you can see your vehicle battery voltage and RSSI signal strength right on the screen. That means fewer surprise brownouts, and a better idea of when to bring the rig back in before the pack is totally drained. Channel-wise, it's 7 channels, and they're pretty flexible. You've got extra switches and a knob you can map to winches, lights, dig, whatever you need. Plus dual mix control for 4-wheel steer, dual ESC crawlers, or tank-style setups. There's even a cruise control style function that helps crawlers hold a steady pace downhill. The radio itself feels solid. The screen is simple but clear. And once you learn the menu flow, setting endpoints and mixes is fairly straightforward. Just remember, it's still 7 channels and more surface focused. So if you know you're heading into very complex aircraft later, this might not be your final radio. Link is in the description. At number 3, this is where long-range confidence and real telemetry start to matter. We have the Radiolink at 10 to 12 channel radio. This solves a problem most people ignore. You're not just trying to control the model, you're trying to actually know what it's doing in the air. Voltage, signal strength, distance, all the stuff that usually stays a mystery until something goes wrong. The AT10O talks both ways. With the included PRM01 module, you can see your airplane's voltage right on the 3.5-inch screen. Add the optional PRM03 and a compatible flight controller, and you can pull in speed, altitude, RSSI, distance, and more. That means when your pack starts sagging or your signal drops, you see it before it becomes a problem. On the Link side, it uses DSSS and FHSS together, plus a 7 dBi high gain antenna. In plain language, the signal is strong. It hops around to dodge interference, and it reaches way farther than typical park flyer gear, so you're not sweating every time your model gets a little speck in the sky. Channel-wise, you get 12 fully usable channels. You can run flaps, retracts, gimbals, lights, pan tilt, whatever extras you want without doing weird compromises. Dual and triple rates, throttle lock, fail-safe setup, endpoint adjustment, and custom mixes are all in there, so you can really tune how each model flies or drive. The interface is split into a basic menu and an advanced menu, so you can keep it simple at first, then dig deeper when you're ready. Binding is straightforward, and you get audible alarms plus on-screen warnings for low voltage voltage and weak signal, which is a nice safety net. Where this really makes sense is for the pilot who's moving beyond beginner gear and wants room to grow into bigger and more complex models. Just remember, it might be more radio than you need if you only fly simple foamies at short range. You'll find the link in the description. These products are great, but there are hundreds of deals every day, and most of them are trash. That's why I pick the 5 best from each category every day and post them for free on Telegram. And you can choose only the categories that interest you, with zero spam. Link in the description. At number 2, this is where radio feel and long-term setup really start to matter. We have the Spektrum DX6E 6-channel DSMX transmitter. For anyone who flies more than one model, this completely changes the hassle level. You get built-in programming for airplanes, helicopters, sailplanes, and multi-rotors, plus a huge 250 model memory. That means you set a plane up once, save it, and it just lives there. No wiping slots, no weird naming tricks, just scroll, select, fly. What catches attention once you hold it is the gimbal. There's a patent-pending system on the back with slider switches that change the spring tension and centering, so you can go from a centered throttle for multi-rotors to a free-moving throttle for plane, without opening the case or touching a screwdriver. It sounds small, but if you swap between types, it's a big quality-of-life thing. Signal-wise, it runs Spektrum's DSMX and also supports DSM2, so if you already have compatible receivers in older models, you're not forced to replace everything at once. Range and reliability are solid park flyer to club field territory, which is what most people actually need. Now, this next part is what separates it for training and clubs. There's a wireless trainer link that lets you buddy box with another DSMX or DSM2 radio. As an instructor, you can take control instantly. As a student, you get the safety net of an experienced pilot on the switch. The radio is also telemetry ready. But here's the key detail. There's no receiver in the box, and to use telemetry, you'll need compatible sensors and a telemetry-capable receiver. So factor that in if you want live battery voltage or other data on the screen. Where this really shines is for the pilot who's committed to the hobby and wants a clean, organized radio they can grow into across a fleet of aircraft. Just remember it's 6 channels, so ultra-complex scale projects may push you to something higher later. You'll find the link in the description. Before we reveal our number 1, be sure to check out the description below for the freshest deals on each of these items. And finally, number 1. This is where a surface radio starts to feel properly tuned for cars and trucks. We have the Flysky FSGT5 transmitter with the BS6 receiver. Picture your setup bench, maybe a basher, a trail rig, a drift car, and a boat. With this radio, you can store up to 20 models, each with its own parameters and a custom name, so you're not guessing which memory slot is which, or redoing endpoints every weekend. The link itself runs on Flysky's 2.4 GHz AFHDS2A system. In plain terms, it hops around the band and fights interference, instead of sitting on one channel. That gives you a more stable signal at crowded bash spots or club car parks, so you can focus on driving instead of glitching. Now, the fun part is the surface-specific features. You get an ABS brake function on the throttle channel with multiple parameters. You can tune how aggressively it pulses the brakes, which helps keep traction under control when you're slowing a heavy rig or entering a corner. There's also a crawl mode, aimed at trail trucks. That lets you shape throttle response for low-speed control, instead of the motor jumping as soon as you touch the trigger. Add in the SVC Smart Control and the built-in gyro stability, and the radio actively helps the car track straight on loose ground or during quick acceleration. Safety-wise, the F-Safe failsafe is there. In case the receiver loses signal, you preset where the servo and throttle should go, and if the link drops, the model moves to that safe position, instead of taking off on its own. Channel count is 6, which is plenty for throttle, steering, lights, winch, maybe a gear shift or extra function. Just remember, it's a surface radio, not something you'll grow into for complex aircraft. Where this really fits is the driver building a small fleet of cars and boats, who wants one-wheel radio that handles them all, with proper tuning tools for crawling, bashing, and general driving. If that sounds like you, check the link in the description. Now you're clear which transmitters deliver solid range and easy setup, so you skip frustration and random signal drops. For new pilots wanting future-proof control, pick number 5. For surface rigs and range, choose number 4. For Spektrum multi-model flyers, go number 2. For a growing car and boat fleet, number 1. Stock and RC bundles shift fast, so check the links in the description.